Hello and welcome to Ycft. Happy New Year! It's like first week of December 2023 for us, but it'll be New Year when this comes out, so ignore the Christmas decks. They're staying up for at least most of January.
Yes.
Just deal with it.
Deal with it.
Well, today's video kind of proves that one of our past ones was a success, at least on my part anyway, because you really enjoyed Dead Snow.
I really did like Dead Snow, and I really like Dead Snow 2.
Yes, we are doing Dead Snow 2 Red vs. Dead, released in 2014, 5 years after the original movie, and is set about roughly 5 seconds after the end of the first one.
Yeah.
Tommy Wirkola returned to direct,
Uh-huh.
and I just want to say, you can tell straight away how much he's progressed as a director in those 5 years.
Yeah.
It's like the film has a bit more budget. Everything seems to be improved, like the lighting, the action, the camera work. Everything is just amped up in this one. And
Totally.
Martin also returns. And what's Martin's name again? It's your turn to read some of the names.
Vega Hole.
Vega Hull. And the guy who plays Roy, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, his character's called Glenn in this. Stig Frode Henriksen.
Love these names. Obviously, yeah, his character died in the first one. He reprises as a different character in this one because he's part of the creative team behind both of them.
Dies again in this one.
Yeah, spoilers. So, Dead Snow 2.
Dead Snow 2.
As it takes place directly after the events of the first film. So, Martin has dropped the coin, lifted it up. Herzog is there, smashes through the window, and that's where this film takes place. He drives off. Herzog attached to the car. A bunch of zombies jump on it. We've got a little bit of a car chase. You instantly see the bigger budget.
Oh, yeah.
Straight away in this one. Ends in a car crash. Martin ends up in the hospital.
Yeah.
And it kind of always answers that question of what would happen at the end of something like Evil Dead when Ash goes to town. This TV series did answer that. But naturally, they assume that Martin killed all his friends.
Yeah, you were instantly suspect number one. This is what terrifies me about being a final girl. It has real life implications.
And the doctors, they may think he's a criminal, but they believe they found his arm, which he chainsawed off in the previous movie, and they reattached it.
Yeah.
That is Herzog's arm, or Satan's arm, that Herzog lost in the car chase at the beginning of the movie. So we now have Martin with a supernaturally possessed evil hand that he struggles to control.
Yeah.
Literally, he grabs a child and throws him backwards through a barred window. Then tries to give him CPR and just splats. The comedy is... This is a very different movie to the first one, like, just budget alone, but it still has that like gory comedy, but it's amped up, and it has everything that I loved about the first one. That is just like the action, the over the top goriness, those Edgar Wright-isms. They're
all over the place in this one. Yeah, definitely.
Martin is the reluctant hero once again. He ends up in touch with a bunch of Americans called the Zombie Squad, like typical like ridiculous, over the top but geeky Americans. And he needs to try and stop Herzog, who is heading towards this town. He finds out that was where his initial destination was before what happened in Oxford. Yeah, the town from the first movie. The lore gets a little bit changed here, so we find out that Herzog has the ability to resurrect the dead. Mm-hmm. He tries to resurrect a bunch of his soldiers from a graveyard, but they weren't frozen. They're just bones at this point.
They're just bones.
So they start killing people and resurrecting them.
Yeah.
Martin having his hand, Herzog has Martin's hand at this point.
Yeah. He
can do the same thing. And this is where we get Sidekick Zombie. I fucking love Sidekick Zombie.
We do. We love.
He must get resurrected like 4 or 5 times in this movie. And every time he's like more decayed.
Yeah, it's like, it's basically, American Werewolf in London, his mate, every time he visits him, he gets physically worse and worse. This poor guy, he doesn't even have a name. He's just Sidekick Zombie, but he's basically like a dog. In like the way he sort of, whimpers, that's the only way he can communicate, and he needs praise.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
We love him.
Martin and the Zombie Squad decide to go and resurrect a Russian.
Yeah, they get their own
some Russian troops that have their own army that Herzog betrayed during the war, and they are buried and frozen.
Yeah.
And the leader, what's the leader of the Russians called?
Stavarin.
Stavarin is played by Derek Mears, which, in real world terms, we watched this movie, or you watched this movie for the very first time, the day after we met Derek Mears.
Yeah.
He's lovely. He's really nice.
That was really cool. Very tall man.
Really, really tall man. So, and then we have a showdown. And that's basically the plot of Dead Snow 2.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Russians versus Nazis all over again.
A little bit of trivia, I guess, about this, I guess. So, like we mentioned in our first video, multiple scenes were filmed twice, once in Norwegian and once in English. After rewatching this, because it's been a while since I'd watched this one, I genuinely believe that the best way to watch this is in Norwegian with English subtitles.
Definitely.
Because we have American characters, there are scenes where they just swap to speaking English. So it just feels like the most natural way to watch it, have all the Norwegian characters talk their own language.
Yeah.
And then just turn on the English when they need it.
Yeah.
And again,
so
just
cool.
incredibly
so impressive.
Incredibly impressive. So I think the most interesting piece of trivia about this is the tank.
Yeah. Talk to us about the tank.
So again, we mentioned the tank in the last one. Would you say this film benefits from the replica World War II tank?
I mean, considering it is basically a character within the film.
This film got budget, but they couldn't stretch the budget to getting this tank that they really wanted. They wanted Herzog to be able to roll into town and blow stuff up.
Yeah.
So they actually did an Indiegogo page, like a crowdfunding thing. And I remember, I couldn't find the video. I was trying to, for researching for this, but I remember it because I was in university. And it's just Tommy Wakola. And he's talking to us, saying, look, this film's getting made either way. We've got the funding, but we really think this film would benefit from having a tank. And whilst behind it, they're all in lab coats and like practicing kills and slicing limbs off each other. It was really, really well done. Well, they reached their goal and they got their tank, and it's such a presence in the movie. And
it is, yeah.
I actually genuinely think the movie would be less without it.
I agree.
It gives Herzog and his soldiers, they feel like a menace.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Herzog in control of it. And, you know, like when he slams on it and he's like directing his men where to go to follow him. And yeah, for sure. Adds to the power. It's
when you see it like crashing down, knocking down trees as they go past, running people over. They run over children. No one is safe in this.
Oh, like the first one is brutal in terms of its kills. It's gory. This one, oh my God. Yeah, it is nasty.
Really cool scene when Herzog experiments with raising the dead. He walks into a church because he's going to kill the priest and resurrect the priest. There's a great moment where the priest goes, Sieg Heil, afterwards. But all the stained glass windows start crying blood when he walks into the church. Really well done. Lots of cool cameras. There's just lots of really amazing set pieces in this. Like in the house, like with zombies coming in and just attacking people in their homes. And the tank going through buildings. This film is just... It's a ride. It's
really is.
Absolute ride.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you get all, as you say, like, it's equal ops in terms of victims in this one. You get the whole couple, he's having a shit on the toilet. Again, someone having a shit on the toilet. Oh my God. And his missus is in the bath. And they're just, chilling and he's plopping away. And then fucking Nazis just storm in. Like, kill her. There's a family having dinner around the table. They just get absolutely massacred. There's two mums pushing their babies in prams. Fucking baby just gets thrown in front of the camera.
Because they blow him up with a tank.
Yeah.
It's when you got the carer trying to push someone in a wheelchair away, just gives up and she falls down and they stamp her head in.
Yeah.
It's everything that I love from the first one, bigger.
Yes.
It's kind of what a sequel needs to do. And I will love this film.
Yeah.
Like, we don't own Dead Snow 2, so I've just got Dead Snow 1 twice.
Yes.
And I do intend to own this one at some point. This one I come back to a lot because I've got a lot of nostalgia for it. This one, admittedly, I think I've only watched it about 3 times.
But it's great every time.
Yeah, I love it every time.
Yeah.
I can ignore the fact that Martin looks 5 years older.
It's fine. I
can ignore the fact that the American characters aren't purposely annoying.
Yes.
And I think there's definitely a commentary.
USA.
Yeah, there's like you got one of the girls can only talk in like Star Wars quotations pretty much, and
basically
they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And you've still got all the Shaun of the Dead references, even like the leader of them. The way he's dressed almost looks like how Simon Pegg is dressed in The World's End.
Yes. Yeah,
they do the typical gearing up scene, and one of them picks up a shovel.
That flashy like cut editing.
And
they do the quick pace one.
There's a line saying, "Oh, what's wrong with this country? This would be so much easier if we could buy weapons because we can't buy guns in Norway."
Yeah.
And I think that's a reason why I really like this one. Even the first one doesn't have a massive amount of gun action.
No.
This one, pretty much does it. And I think that's what helps set it apart from other zombie films. You always need to be like shooting them in the head and all. This is just whatever you can grab.
Yeah,
fight
just
with.
use. Yeah, and also, so we talked about it in the first one, like the video on the first movie, in that, if you get bit, does that mean you turn into a zombie? Are we sticking to traditional Hollywood lore here? And we've firmly established that doesn't track in this one. And the film is quite self-aware because that is also something that is kind of brought up in conversation with Daniel, the leader of the zombie squad, and Martin when they're just, going to resurrect the Russian pals.
Were any of you bitten?
We're all bitten. What? We didn't become one of them. We just, we just died, so...
to, recruiting their own army. And Daniel's like, you created your own subgenre here, man. He's like, first of all, establishing that the Nazis are here because they have a purpose. They're trying to complete the mission that they started back in the 40s. Like, that's interesting.
This is some unprecedented, unheard of, mysterious voodoo zombie shit, man. I've never seen this before. I've seen 1,000 zombie movies, and this is not in any of them. You've created a whole new genre here, man.
And also, how, whoever is in possession of the arm is able to resurrect, and then the resurrected zombies will be loyal to that person that has the arm. It's like, yeah, it's doing something a bit different, which I like a lot.
They also talk about at the beginning, like when he's on the phone to him after he, accidentally murders a kid and then leaves the hospital. He said, where do you been? He said, yes, we all were. Pretty much. Like, he said we all were, but we didn't turn. They're just dead.
Like, we just died.
They're just dead.
We just died.
So, firmly establishing the rules of this one.
Yeah.
What's some standout scenes for you in this?
Oh, well, you've mentioned one of the early ones where Martin first wakes up in the hospital and he's got the fucking arm. And throws this kid just out the window. And Vega Hole, I want to shout out just how brilliant he is at acting shocked. Because every single time his arm does something that he is not in control of, the guy just has this really awful, shock horror look on his face. And when he throws his kid out the window, there's just this, horrible moment where he has to take a breath and pause before he looks around and he goes outside. The kid is probably already dead at this point, but he tries to administer CPR.
He splats.
And you just hear this blood just erupts everywhere. Just straight through the rib cage. And again, that amazingly shocked face. I love it.
The policeman's in the window. He's like, it's not what it looks like.
It's really not what it looks like. Yeah. I absolutely love that. I love
the bus.
Oh, the bus
just really nicely filmed.
Tourist massacre. Yeah, that's where we're introduced to the sidekick character. Yeah, all of that is great. We get another intestine kill as well.
I love it. There's a couple of intestine kills in this.
I do love the final, the big battle between Stavarin and Herzog. I like that. I like how they kind of give each other evils from across the battlefield and then gunning for each other. There's a lot of vomit in this scene. Sorry, in this whole film. That crops up quite a lot, which
zombie vomit.
Even on second watching, I can't get used to it. Glenn, when he sees the tourist massacre, is sick all over the place, and Martin just kind of wipes it with his bare hand. Guess he's been through enough at this point. There's the sidekick zombie is sick in the car, and he then eats his own vomit.
Even they're like, oh no.
I think Marty's reaction is like, God, it looks like rice pudding.
Oh, because one of them throws up on the sidekick as well. It's lots of vomit.
Oh, this poor sidekick. I know. It looks good, but just there's a lot of it. And I loved it the first time, especially the second time, is Martin and Herzog face off with each other towards the end. And I think Herzog is beating the shit out of Martin, basically. He's got the upper hand. And Martin just looks at him at one point and he's like, you guys, you got your gold, your treasure, you got your land, you got greedy.
I got greedy. You wanted more?
It's like, you guys got too greedy. And I was just really, really like that.
So, as the tank is lining up on his head.
No, it's just, I know he's biding for time, but I just like the simplicity of it. It's like, it was always your problem.
Yeah. I really like the Nazi field medic. When you see they're bringing over,
comb over, yeah.
They're bringing the troops over and missing legs and stuff. I think they did actually get an amputee.
They did, yeah.
But he just sticks a piece of wood up his leg. It's a battle. They got the field medic.
They got your field medic. Yeah, this looked like Hitler comb over.
Yeah, there's so many just great kills and funny moments. You've got the whole side plot of the police that are trying to keep up with everything that's going on.
Yeah,
and they're just totally ill-equipped to deal with any of this that's going on.
The politics, because, you know, like, the biggest thing that's happened to them in the space of a week is a dog shitting in someone's garden. You know, like, that's literally, like, the height of their police activity.
Yeah, it's quiet town.
Quiet place. The zombie sex.
Oh, okay, we'll jump to that then.
We can't forget about the zombie sex.
Should we quickly go over the ending before we get to the zombie sex?
Let's
So,
do that.
the tank is such an important part of this film that it defeats Herzog.
It does, ultimately, yeah.
He gets his head blown off by a tank, and then, again, establishing some more rules, all the zombie, which will come up a little bit later, all the zombies that were under his power die.
Yeah, it's a little bit, thinking of it now, you know Bed Knobs and Broomsticks?
Yeah.
Okay, just bear with me. There's a scene at the end where she is controlling all of, like, the armor that she recruits from the museum. And then when she's taken out, I think, like, she's hit by something, so she's unconscious. And then all of the armor just kind of slowly collapses.
I'm going to do a bit more of a modern reference for any younger audience there. Any MCU movie when the big bad is defeated and then the army just dies. That.
Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, all MCU.
Yeah. Martin goes off. I mean, he kind of goes on a bit of road trip, and it's kind of like, what's he doing?
What's he doing at this point? Because I guess he's been exonerated. The police have seen the big battle.
It's hard. I think it's a bit hard to tell.
Is
really.
he still on the run?
I imagine so. But he goes to a graveyard and he digs up
Hannah
from the first movie. She returns and he resurrects her. And then they get on. There is zombie sex. Even a little Titanic reference with the hand across the window.
Oh, that car is steamy.
Yeah.
And then who tags along?
You see Psychic. Right. So Psychic, he got killed initially. He was in a wheelchair.
This is when he was alive.
And then he got resurrected, and then he could walk. So again, supernaturally possessed.
Yeah.
Through pure fear, Martin punches him to death.
Yeah.
Brings him back. Then he gets an axe to the face from the zombie squad.
He's brought back again.
Then they get stuck. They need something to help them get out of the mud that they're stuck in, so they use him as a plank. Yes. He gets brought back again.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's in the final battle.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually dies in that one, but he takes a beating.
He does take a massive beating.
So he's just slowly been following.
Yeah.
Martin's going,
I noticed he's got like a little crutch, I think, or something. Yeah. Like when he's following it, like the poor guy, he's
been through.
He's died so many times.
You don't want to interrupt Martin at the moment, mate.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a way to end it. And then, to be honest, we literally just found out today because we rewatched this while we were setting up. There's a post-credit scene in this film.
Yes, there
is. I had no idea there was a post-credit scene. It raises a few questions because, the field doctor finds Herzog's head, and typically in horror movie post-credit scene tradition, the eyes open.
Yes.
You brought up, how is the medic still alive?
Yes.
So it makes me think, is Herzog the one who actually has the power, or is it him? It's a bit unclear. It doesn't follow the rules set previously in the film.
No, because again, whoever is leading the army, if that person is taken out, then the whole army is taken out. And Herzog got decapitated, and as soon as he did, all his men went down. Like the battle instantly stopped. So how was the medic up and about to go and rescue the head? Like, yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. I guess, like, if they were ever going to do a third one, it probably would be explained, but is it in the works?
It is. Tommy McCullough, he said even as early as, like, 2019, 2020, that he has every intention of doing Dead Snow 3. I think he's just been busy. Obviously, got Violent Night. He's starting to get a couple of some Hollywood movies. Mm-hmm. But he has every intention of doing a third movie. And he said in his word, or paraphrasing his words, it's time to bring out the big guns and bring out zombie Hitler. That's what he wants to do for the third one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hope he brings Martin back.
Oh, he will. He obviously will.
Martin versus Hitler. Oh my God, can you imagine?
Well, it's like Herzog's just ahead now. What's...
Yeah, exactly.
I would queue overnight to go see that movie. Mm-hmm. I was really excited for this one coming out. I'm going to be really excited for the third one to come out. This film, I realize we're not even being that critical of it. We're just gushing over like how enjoyable this film is.
Yeah. The thing is, it is a good film. It's like, yes, it is very different to the first one. You can tell that there is a bigger budget. Yeah, you can tell, I think, Wakola is maybe a bit more confident and competent in his direction as well. So it feels like it's a natural sequel, I think, to the first one, but it's just done on a bigger scale. But it's so much fun, and the comedy is a little bit more
fine-tuned.
Yeah, a little bit more fine-tuned and like Western, maybe. I don't know if that's the best way.
Because the first movie did quite well in the West, I think that's why they've included the American characters, have a bit more English in there.
Yeah.
Because I think they knew, people outside of Norway are going to want to watch this movie.
Yeah, sure.
And I think this is still rated really high. I couldn't find any stats on how well it did, but it's rated quite high.
No, I couldn't really find any stats on how much of an increase the budget was either, which was a little bit annoying. There's not much other trivia that I found either, other than a lot of the zombies that they used were professional martial artists in real life, so they were able to do a lot of their own stunt scenes.
Flips and stuff, yeah.
Which is really cool. And the stunts are, fantastic. I love the guy that plays Glenn. Who's Roy in the first one. He plays what's like kind of he's about to come out in the movie and he gets killed off. But yeah,
it's one of those things that it's so obvious throughout the entire movie.
But
such a completely different character to what he plays in the first one. He plays it very, very well.
No, I love it. I lost a jacket.
That'll become clear if you watch the movie. It's on Shudder at the moment, I think. I think that's what we watched it on.
That's what we watched it on, yeah.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend both of them, to be honest. They're just good films.
I agree with that. This one is such a good time. It's so much fun. Also, I think it was shot in Iceland, which is just beautiful.
Yeah, it was. So many nice shots of like Herzog and his troops looking down.
Yeah.
Is that maybe bigger budget about that they didn't film it in Norway this time?
Maybe, yeah. Beautiful Icelandic backdrop. Shame about the Nazis.
Have you got any more notes on this one?
I don't really know. I would love to talk about more trivia, but there just didn't really seem to be a lot, which is a shame.
Yeah.
So I love it.
That's my question. If anyone has any trivia about this film, let us know.
Yes.
Because we just really enjoy it. I think it's one of them. Again, you can see the Edgar Wright inspiration.
It's a homage at the end of the day. I don't think it's Wacola copying.
No.
As much as it is like, I really love what this guy did.
It's
I
very...
do my own version of it.
It's very much its own thing. Because obviously, Shaun of the Dead, the zombies, they don't really have personalities.
No.
They might have the occasional trait, but these, like... The zombies are full... Like, Herzog is a fully fleshed out character in this one. Like, it's a different actor, but he has so much more to do. You got the Doctor, who's also a fully fledged character. I love, like... You can differentiate between the ranks in the army. Like, we had some SS in the last one, but we have like tank commanders and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and obviously, like these, they have a mission to complete, and that's their purpose. They don't just crave flesh. In fact, I don't think they do crave flesh. Like they kill people because they're in the way.
Yeah.
Or they're killing them to recruit, but it's not like a traditional zombie movie in that sense.
Yeah, they're cursed zombies.
Yes, different thing.
Entirely different.
The stakes are different.
It's kind of like in Cabin in the Woods. I had zombies. You had zombies. These are cannibal zombie family, something along those lines. They're entirely different species. I can't remember exactly what they're called.
Thing.
Two different breeds of zombies.
Yeah.
So, thanks a lot, guys. I hope you've enjoyed us gushing over both of these movies.
Yeah.
Neither of them are perfect, but they don't need to be. They do exactly what I personally want them to do.
Yeah, I've watched Dead Snow 2 twice now, and I already...
You've watched it twice in like 2 weeks.
Can't wait to watch it again. Genuinely, it is a really, really fun film.
For someone who doesn't like zombie movies, you liked...
I think I need to change my stance.
You liked Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
You enjoyed Night of the Living Dead, although it's a bit more nihilistic.
Yeah.
And you've really enjoyed Dead Snow 2. Night of the Comet is arguably got zombie movie tendencies in it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So I've just been cherry-picked. I cherry-picked all these movies for you, then you get the revelation of, oh crap, I do like zombie movies. Just a particular genre of them.
I need to change. I'm going to officially change my stance. I like zombie movies.
I did it.
You're so fucking proud of yourself.
I am. On that note, guys, welcome to 2024. We've got a lot of fun stuff lined up this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reveal all of it. You'll have to find out next week. So
we got some fun stuff.
Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you for the rest of the year.